I found it very meaningful that the main character was centered around a strong female, and being a woman and seeing how Esther responded to her family, her friends, and her co-workers was extremely inspiring. Two values that I think are being represented in this play are money and time, and many times throughout the play there were interactions between either an African American character and a white character, or two African American characters. And the scenes with an African American character and a white character always dealt with buying something. In this case it was fabric, so that idea of spending money and obtaining money and being able to spend it. And the scenes with two African American characters dealt with the want and the need of obtaining money. And these two different relationships and ideas of money were very different between the characters. So my two quotes regarding money are, "Feel this one, Japanese silk, your special order for the lady on 5th Avenue. It took me nearly 1 month to find this very piece. I had to go everywhere." And that is said by Mr. Marks, who is a white character in the play. And the second quote is, "I'd like to settle matters. Please, you ain't paid me in 2 months and I need the money." And that's said by Esther, who is one of the main female African American characters. And the second value that's important is the idea of time. And as a result of Esther and George only meeting, like corresponding by letter, they immediately jumped to conclusions and rushed into the idea of marriage. So it just shows that time is important and it's an essence in our life, and we need time in order to feel comfortable and to feel settled. And the two quotes are, one in the letter, it says right away, it says, "Will you marry me?" And they've never even met each other. And the second quote is when Esther says, "Do you even love me?" The relationship of intimate apparel to the representation of the African American experience is a complete single story. In this play, they are showing us that African Americans are underserved in the working class and are always in a need for money, and that's a single story that revolves around the African American culture. And the language, I think, that is spoken by the African American characters depicts that they are uneducated, and that is also a single story that we learn about. And this play reinforced my understanding of the African American experience, and this is what people think, and it needs to be changed because it's not true at all. I think stereotypes do exist today, and what perpetuates these stereotypes are single stories, and the only way to overcome these are to speak up. And we're the generation that needs to speak up and needs to be representative of other people and needs to be representative of who we are and what we are. And movements like the Black Lives Matter movement are just one step in the right direction, and I hope that I can do more to get their voices heard. My two questions are, how could this play have been reassembled to reinvent our understanding of the African American representation? And my second question is, do you believe you could truly find the one through a series of letters without ever seeing them in person?